I mean, he's a laughingstock. He's an embarrassment to this country.
As a conservative, we have to come back to what's real in Canada, respecting people's choice, not imposing the choice to people.
Pour encourager notre chef des partis conservateurs, le futur Premier ministre. We don't want to let Trudeau ruin the country more. I think it's about time.
This is Alexa reporting for Rebel News, and I'm here in Pointe-Claire, Montreal, at the Pierre Poilievre rally. Recent polls suggest that if an election were held tomorrow, Pierre Poilievre and the Conservative Party could secure a majority government with approximately 43% of voter intention. However, while the Conservatives are leading nationwide, the picture is quite different in Quebec. Here, polls show the Bloc Québécois in the lead, followed by the Conservative Party in the second place. We are here to cover the event, although there won't be any media opportunities to ask Mr. Poilievre questions. Instead, we will be speaking with attendees to hear their thoughts on the Conservative Party, the Liberal Party, and of course, Justin Trudeau. Let's check it out.
It's important for me because I work in Alberta in the oil and gas industry, and with all the money and the taxes going up, I don't feel like it's fair that I work 180 hours and lose 57% of my salary. To me, it's ridiculous, And the question I wanted to ask Pierre when he was here was, why are we continuously lied to by the lamestream media? Why the Canadians can't get real news? All we get is opinions and propaganda. And then I look around and all I see is real news. Rebel News is here to report what's actually happening and what's coming from the Canadian citizens.
I believe in Pierre Poilievre and what he stands for, and I believe that he's going to make Canada better, and he's going to make life for Canadians much, much better.
It's important for us because I believe in the economy. As a conservative, we have to come back to what's real in Canada, respecting people's choice, not imposing the choice to people.
This country has gone downhill in 9 years, and I want to see a big change. I hope he can even do the big change that we need. I'm also very, very impressed that there's a lot of young people here, and they're going to get involved and hopefully change this nonsense that's been going on in Canada.
Yeah, 9 years of Trudeau it's disturbing because he's very motivated by his own ideology, by his own extreme left ideology. It doesn't make any sense, so-called wokeism. We don't want this. The ordinary people of Canada and Quebec, we don't want this. And he has destroyed Canada. Internationally, we lost the respect as Canadian.
We're going to cut back on the foreign aid that goes to dictators like the communist regime in Beijing, which got $250 million of our tax dollars from Trudeau. That's gone. We will cut back on the terror financing UNRWA to stop funding anti-Semitism.
Do you have one politic that you would like Pierre Poilievre to take a stronger stance?
Yes, fighting against anti-Semitism and protecting the rights of Israel to defend themselves.
I just want to know what he would do for people like me who work in retail, who work nights, and who want a better life, because life is very difficult right now.
Yes, zero taxes for everyone. Just kidding. Of course, it's impossible, but no taxes would be great, no?
Yeah, I would love for him to hold the media accountable for what they do. They lie to us. We don't get anything right. And when they do lie, they come out and say, oh, we're sorry. Well, at what point is every time a sorry? 100 sorries doesn't make it right. I want the truth. Canadians deserve the truth. We deserve a better country, a better economy, and that's what he's going to deliver.
I would put forward definitely policies to strengthen back the security of our country. Personally, I work for a federal department, and I would like to see the Conservative Party strengthen back and bring back the immigration policies that we used to know, in order to ensure security for all Canadians.
There's a lot of that going on with the drugs, and it's a problem that needs to be resolved.
I used to work for the federal government, honestly. When I started, we were 225,000 federal employees. Since Trudeau got in, we're over 300. Why? I don't think we need that many people. And then we are creating new $100,000 job for people who does nothing for Canadian.
Getting rid of the woke because it's damaging to our country. You know, this whole climate change thing, it's gone too far. Everything to the left is too far. It's Marxist. I'm a capitalist and our country is capitalism. I have nothing against helping poor people or immigration. The country was built on immigration, but it's got to be the right immigrants, the ones who want to support Canada, not destroy it.
We're going to bring people in numbers that we can absorb into our housing and job market and into our health care and social services, numbers that are realistic and that allow people who arrive here to actually succeed. And we will have, once again, strong security screening to keep terrorists out and protect not only our people, but our way of life. We're going to repeal the censorship laws, C-11 and C-63. We're going to ban all of our ministers and MPs from any involvement in the World Economic Forum.
What do you think about the 9 years under Justin Trudeau?
9 years under Justin Trudeau. When I was younger, I thought legalizing weed was great. Fine, nothing else happened. Taxes went up, inflation went up, Canada got worse. He's selling our country out and he's not helping us. He takes our money, spends it elsewhere. People here are on the streets, women need shelters, veterans are out in the cold. Homeless people, you know, there's better things to do with our own money to save our citizens before we help everyone else. That's what I think. He needs to go.
I think it's a nightmare. Absolute nightmare. He's just gaslighting people. I mean, you can't fool me. You really can't fool any Canadian. I mean, some people, yes, but it's not their fault. They just, some people just don't want to wake up and see what's going on, you know? They're just in denial. And I think it's time that we stand up together and show that we have to make Canada great again.
They did the deal for one reason and one reason only. They knew that they wouldn't last that long in a minority government. But the NDP doesn't have money, so they couldn't go on election. So it was profitable for the NDP to make a deal with Trudeau. Now they supposedly ripped the deal, but they're still acting as if they have that deal. So I don't know what's going on in the back office of both the Liberal Party and NDP, but there's something going on, and personally I believe it's a denying of democracy, and which is wrong. Democracy should be, if you're so confident in your position and what you do, let it run, go into an election.
This is mass immigration program, it's horrible. I myself an immigrant. We love immigration here, but it has to be like sensible immigration. We need people, definitely we need people, but we have to also ask for the people who can help and contribute in our society to grow Canada, not bring their problems from their own country and inject in our country here to cause instability, to cause the violence. We do not want this. That the criminality is going high and then the violence is going higher, but it's not, and the moment you talk about it and they're gonna call you xenophobe, they're gonna call you this phobe, that phobe.
We haven't seen the extent of the disaster, but mostly the generations that comes after us, my children, their children will have to suffer and will ask, how come we were here and we didn't stand up and we didn't do anything to preserve Canada's heritage and legacy and for them and their children? So
there's foreign policy, there's the economy, there's no patriotism. I mean, half the country despises him. Our neighbor to the south, Donald Trump, he makes fun of him. And people don't understand why. I mean, he's a laughing stock. He's an embarrassment to this country.
How can you explain that Québécois are still voting for the Bloc Québécois who are actually keeping Justin Trudeau into power?
Well, I think it's because they're not aware of what's going on. Maybe they're turning on the TV and watching the news that they've been watching for the past 40 years instead of looking around and finding out the truth. You know, maybe they should watch CPAC for a while and watch what's going on in Parliament. Then you could see what's actually going on in the country and compare it to the other news that's on TV.
Don't forget forget that to be an independent media here in Canada is pretty hard. We need your support. So I invite you to go to rebelfieldreports.com. On this website, you can donate what you can, and thank you in advance to support our journalism.